Hey everyone! Fresh off of launching their second album, Blood Rainbow, last Friday, I'm stoked to be chatting to Jimmy and Sam from A Gazillion Angry Mexicans today. Jimmy and Sam, how are you guys?
Good, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah. How about yourself?
Oh, I'm excellent, thank you. I feel like I need to explain to listeners, I know I already explained it to you guys, but I'm still recovering from the Unify plague. So everyone who's either listening or watching, apologies for my husky voice, but otherwise I'm very good. Hey guys, before we get into album chats, which there's going to be a lot. I'm excited about it. I listened to the record a couple of times over the last few days and I'm really excited to chat about it. But I have to ask, and I do have to preface, I'm sorry if you've had to answer this a million times. Can you explain to our watchers and listeners where the band name A Gazillion Angry Mexicans comes from?
We really wish that the band name had an interesting story.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah. For a very long time, we were trying to think of a band name. The two guitarists were in a band prior to this called Miss Mountain, and they, for whatever reason, that band sort of fell apart, or didn't fall apart. They just sort of all grew apart. So Sam and I came on board. We were trying to think of a band name for ages, and we threw around so many. I have no idea what any of them were. But I'm pretty positive they were all garbage. And then one of the guitarists, Ben, was watching television one night. He doesn't even remember what show it was. But one of the quotes was, basically just A Gazillion Angry Mexicans was mentioned. And I think we've all got a penchant to spaghetti westerns. And we loved the fact that it had lots of Z's and X's in it. And it starts with an A, which is very good for any sort of chronological order names.
Top of the list.
Top of the list.
Yeah, that's a good conscious thought to have, something that people don't think about often.
We also, we're not very good at brevity. Everything always seems to be long-winded. So, just...
Like every emo release from 2006 to 2009 was like really, really long names.
Really long. And then in brackets, there was like a little explanation of everything.
Why not? Go hard or go home, right?
Exactly.
Well, I wanted to touch on, it's been a little while between releases for you guys. Blood Rainbow is your first album since 2018. How are you feeling now that it's out in the world?
Oh, amazing. We been holding on to it for 2 years now, really. We're meant to be releasing it in 2020, I think. And we recorded it in 2019. So
can't imagine what would have happened.
Yeah, exactly.
We just decided to hold on to it for a little bit.
You just wait.
So after 2 years of waiting, it's pretty amazing to get it out there and see what people think about it. And we think it's our best work to date, and heaviest as well. We sort of pushed it to be a lot heavier and more cohesive, and we're pretty proud of it. So hopefully everyone else likes it as well.
Yeah, I actually wanted to touch on, I'm glad that you said, you've gone a bit heavier, because listening to the record myself, I feel like it has a really nice vibe to it. Like, it confused my senses a little because it is really heavy, but I kind of, instead of wanting to like jump into a mosh pit, I almost wanted to like lie down and close my eyes and really appreciate it for the musical talent that you guys clearly all have. Do you have a bit of an intention when you're creating to create that kind of a feeling for fans?
I think we definitely focused on creating a vibe for this record. The first album was a lot of fun to record and a lot of fun to write, but I think it was sort of, while we were doing that, we were sort of really finding our feet, really finding how we really want to express ourselves, really focus on, just sort of, I think the first one was more about just getting some songs done and, trying to become a band. I think with this one, it's more about, finding our feet properly. and really pushing what we like to do.
Well, I mean, it's that vibe, I guess, that you were saying is definitely what I picked up. And I feel like from start to finish, it has a really kind of cohesive feel to it. I wanted to touch on the opening track on the album. I'm a real sucker for an opening track. I really like when something, it feels like it's being built up from the moment that you press play. And the first track, Midsummer Fever Dream, it kind of surpassed my expectations as far as an opening track. You know, I think I touched on it earlier. It's really clear that you're all very talented musicians. I guess like my question is, how does the writing process, you know, come to fruition for you guys when you're putting such large energy from such talent into each track?
Sometimes it's a bit of a fluke for us. We write really well together, I think, and especially that opening track was something that Ben was just playing in the studio, I think, and all of us vibed on it while he was playing it, and we decided to make something out of that. And similar to the track midway through, which is sort of a interlocking track as well.
Yeah, it almost like builds again.
Yeah. So that was the same sort of process as the opening one as well. Sort of vibing on something that we're just playing in the studio, and building on that while we're recording. So yeah, we just liked what he was playing, and we're like, let's keep that in for sure, and make it a bit moody.
I think it translated really nicely, and at every point listening to the record, and in particular to those, you know, instrumental tracks where it does build, I couldn't stop imagining you guys playing them live and kind of building that vibe in front of a live audience. You have a bunch of live performances coming up, both here and overseas. In particular, this weekend, you guys have the album release show on March 26th at the Retreat. What can event goers expect from this experience, this show?
I think if people haven't seen us for a while, which obviously over the last few years is most likely the case.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think it's the live show has become a lot more focused as a piece, as opposed to it's focused on it being a performance piece. It's like we wanted to translate what we've done on that record into a live. So a lot of the tracks, the interluding tracks and the instrumentals, we build upon them a little bit more live.
Ooh.
Extending parts and making it a bit louder and a bit more heavy, and then bringing it down as low as we can. So hopefully we can
nail it.
Yeah. Hopefully we can really show people what we've been trying to do. So obviously recording something is one way, but I think we've always been a live band.
Yeah.
I think translating the ebbs and flows of the record in a live sense.
Good call out. Yeah.
Are you ready to rock?
Yeah.
We'll be
we won't be doing that.
Yeah, we'll try not to do that. There'll be a little bit of Kiss face paint, but that's about it.
I was kind of thinking when I listened to the record, and I know I touched on it before, that it builds and then it's just like this amazing vibe, and then it's almost like you hit reset and then you build all over again. It kind of feels like you could play the whole thing from start to finish, and like that's an impeccable live set.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see you build more on that. I'm excited.
Yeah.
It will be.
It's a lot of pressure.
No, that's my thing. I'm just like constant hype girl. Don't see it as pressure. Just like it's like excitement. I'm like, fucking go, guys. You're gonna see it.
It'll definitely be most of the new record, and then we'll slide in some old bangers in there as well that fit with the newer stuff.
Awesome.
Hopefully it all melds together perfectly.
I'm sure it will. I'm absolutely sure it will. All right. I know this is like asking you, or a parent, sorry, to pick their favorite child. But I will say my favorite track on the album was Purgatory. I just kind of felt like it was really punchy from the get-go, and it really hooked me from start to finish, that song. I would love to hear from each of you what your favorite track on the album is and why.
I think mine would have to be Plume. The big doomy sort of not traditional structure as we usually went for on the record before. Yeah, just big and open and heaps of space. And it sort of came about by luck, how we wrote that piece. So pretty happy how it come together in the end. And yeah, I just love big, heavy, slow bangers. So
yeah. It's funny. I know
it's
funny. I know I've said this word already a couple of times, but like that song is a vibe.
Yeah.
Like its whole own vibe.
Yeah, it's a bit different from all the other ones.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Jimmy, what about you?
Got a bit more?
I like Purgatory as well.
Yeah.
I like it. I do love the whole, like everything about the album I love. I just love any song that snares going cat, 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 just for as long as it possibly can. It just gets me.
I use the I think I'm coming to realization recently, but I use the term punchy a lot, but I feel like this track really deserved it. Like it is punchy, like.
Right, yeah, I think it's like we all listen to sort of a lot of different styles of music. But I think the punchiness really invokes sort of like an Every Time I Die kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which is something that we just love.
Yeah.
And it's something that, you know, like to be honest with you, the last couple of months with Every Time I Die has been like losing a child for us.
Yeah.
A child we had nothing to do with.
No, I mean, even though like I you don't even have to say anything, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the working title for that song was Every Time I Die.
Yeah, yeah, Every Time I Die.
Yeah.
Oh God, that's
so
amazing.
we love them.
That kind of makes me love it more. All right, well, the last thing I want to ask you guys about is, and I don't often touch on this, but the album cover is just so stunning. And I really wanted to ask that, where did this design and concept come from?
The artist's name's, now, pronunciation of this word, I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
Zoussi, Zoussi, if anyone's on Instagram.
Okay, yeah.
Check them out. They're an amazing artist.
I'll tag them in the article.
Yeah, really beautiful, like really beautiful, ethereal kind of looking, and very, you know, very spacious. We also thought it was we thought that the artwork itself was really sort of very similar to the sort of sound we wanted to make. Like it's very sort of, the colors are aggressive, but it's such a beautiful, open sort of look, space, and punchiness.
Good way to put it.
Thank you.
Like I want to see it on a canvas, on a wall. Like,
yeah,
it is such a piece of art in itself, but then it's crazy how it is like, it's like looking at the album.
Yeah, exactly right.
We worked it out that way.
We actually got the artwork and then wrote the songs.
Yeah, nice. That was the whole inspiration. Oh, amazing. Well, everyone, you can listen to Blood Rainbow. It's on all platforms now, out now via Headstone Records. Catch A Gazillion Angry Mexicans, probably the coolest band name ever. They're playing at the Retreat in Melbourne on Saturday, as well as heaps of other tour dates across not just Australia, but the globe. Good luck with the show this weekend. Thank you so much, Jimmy and Dave.
Thank you.
Cheers.
You have a lovely evening.
Bye.